Especially over the last few weeks, I have got many calls. Many of my friends and people I know have connected me and asked me, Arnab, what you said about the deep state of America trying to create trouble in India in the way that it created trouble and brought down a democratically elected government in Bangladesh, could that happen in India? Well, I am still investigating the matter. I do not have reportable evidence right now, but we all can draw our connections. But regardless of that, I believe that it is time for me to put out a video asking Indians to be vigilant. Hashtag India be very vigilant over what is likely to happen over the next few months. Remember, our nation is in a combat situation. My highest level contacts tell me that the danger is ever present. The danger of terrorism, the danger of external aggression, the danger of the enemy targeting us again is ever present. We are in a combat situation. At this point of time, we need to remain really united. Who does not know that when we face a crisis or a challenge, whether it be one to a family, a company, a team, a housing society, or a country, everyone has to come together and fight and overcome challenges unitedly. We have to let go of our differences, our personal rivalries, to conquer the larger challenge or intent. And today, our nation is fighting back, our government is fighting back. We are staring down Trump by wrestling an extra 5% rebate on Russian oil in response to Trump's economic bullying. We're telling Trump, take a walk. We're fighting Trump's bullying. Is this the time to be hankering about reservations based on caste and other divisions in private institutions? Why is the Congress doing this? Today, when our nation faces an open threat with an American-sponsored Pakistan, with Asif Munir having attended White House meetings twice in 2 months, is it the time to question the Indian Air Force about how many Rafales came down? Today, when our country is ensuring that Trump's attempted blackmailing is met by deep strategic offsetting through alternative diplomatic channels with BRICS countries, which our Prime Minister is doing. You see his pictures there with Lula. Is this the time for Rahul Gandhi to start it again, to be attacking at the root of our democracy and our institutions? Today, when not just the policymakers, but also the markets, global rating agencies have defied every attempt to crush the India growth story, is it time for some politicians to be sauntering around saying the economy is dead?
Trump is saying Indian economy is a dead economy.
Yes, he's right. I mean, everybody knows this, except the Prime Minister and the Finance Minister. Everybody knows that the Indian economy is a dead economy. I'm glad that President Trump has stated a fact. What more do? Why are you asking this question?
लेकिन 25% टैरिफ लगाया प्लस पेनल्टी भी लगा दिया
It is a dead economy. Are you people not aware of this? आपको ये मालूम नहीं है कि इंडियन इकोनॉमी डेड इकोनॉमी है? कोई कंफ्यूजन है आप में? पूरी दुनिया जानती है कि इंडियन इकोनॉमी इज अ डेड इकोनॉमी और बीजेपी ने इकोनॉमी को खत्म कर दिया है. क्यों खत्म किया है? अदानी जी की मदद करने के लिए खत्म किया है. तो आप लोग हैरान क्यों लग रहे हो?
Look at Rahul Gandhi standing with Donald Trump, saying our Indian economy is dead. Today, when everybody else, including China, stands with us, is it a time for Rahul Gandhi to start casting doubts on the success of Operation Sindoor? I really, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes begin to wonder, what is the intent of these people? What is their intent? So, ladies and gentlemen, the contrast is visible. And I wish to ask this question to all of you tonight. Should there or should there not be a moratorium on division, on divisive politicians in our country? Should Indians not be vigilant against attempts to engineer divisions in any form, whether on caste lines, economic lines, religious lines, or regional lines? Remember what Donald Trump would love to see. Donald Trump would like to see a Shaheen Bagh situation in our country. Donald Trump would love to see the kind of situation that happened when some people dared to touch the tricolor at Red Fort. Donald Trump, who cannot run his own country, who has brought out the army to quell protests in America's capital, would love to see chaos in our country. Donald Trump would want to see anarchy in our country. Donald Trump would want to see Indians lose faith in the electoral system of our country. That is what Donald Trump would want to see. And I want to clarify, I have no concrete information yet about whether Americans are going to push for anarchy, but I can tell you from my experience, because I know the CIA, I know the deep state, I know the way they work. I understand their thinking. We must be conscious today, because history has proven that with the Americans strongly against us, and remember, when I say Americans, I mean the Trump administration. The Trump administration today is completely against the Narendra Modi government. Because Narendra Modi is not giving in. Because Narendra Modi is not allowing genetically modified crops from America to compromise our farmers. Because Narendra Modi is standing against the people who want to run over and control India's agriculture. Because Narendra Modi is saying, I'm going to stand up for my national interest, because Narendra Modi is not agreeing to stop trading with the Russians on oil. And hence, the American deep state would be salivating at any opportunity to create mayhem and anarchy once again in India. Don't forget the Bangladesh case study. On the 5th of August 2024, Sheikh Hasina, a democratically elected Prime Minister of Bangladesh, was forced to flee her own country as the radical elements usurped her nation. America had already made their dislike towards Sheikh Hasina apparent. And months later, the deep state favorite, Muhammad Yunus, succeeded Sheikh Hasina. Let me add a personal element to this. A few weeks before it happened, Sheikh Hasina was in India, and there were a lot of senior leaders of the Awami League with her. At one event, I sat next to a very, very senior leader of the Awami League, and he said to me, sitting on a lunch table 1 feet away, he said, Arnab, we are going to be run over by the Americans because we are not letting the Americans have their way in Bangladesh. We are not going to give up on our sovereignty and let them start an American base on St. Martin's Island. And viewers, within a few days of that, you know what happened in Bangladesh. Let's not forget. We were told that what happened in Bangladesh can also happen here in India. Listen to this.
तो ऐसे परिस्थिति में हम ये भी कह सकते हैं कि जैसा कि शक पैदा हुआ लोगों के मन में बांग्लादेश में कि ये फ्री एंड फेयर इलेक्शन है क्या, वैसे ही शक यहाँ भी आने लगे हैं. वहाँ तो उभर गए हैं, लेकिन यहाँ भी वो शुरू हो गए हैं.
Hear Manishankar Ayer's words very carefully. He talks about creating a sense of doubt in the minds of people in Bangladesh that the elections were not fair. Isn't that exactly what the Congress party is doing here in India? Trying to create a sense of doubt among people in India that the Indian electoral system is not fair. No concrete evidence, no legally admissible evidence, no affidavits, but play on creating doubts among people's minds. Ladies and gentlemen, that is why I'm appealing to you tonight. Spread this video. There are people who have wrong intentions about our country. India, be vigilant. But India is not Bangladesh, and Indian people will not let that happen. And the Indian leadership, with pride, I say, will never let an American dictate what happens on India's soil. But should we not know the threats? Should we not know what can happen? Are we not clear here as we move from being a 4 trillion economy to a 10 trillion economy? This is the period when we have to be very, very careful. Once we cross 10 trillion, we will take on the Americans directly, if required, the Chinese. In this growth phase, we have no option but to be united. Some people will want to break the country from within, because today we have a Prime Minister who says he's ready to pay the price to protect India's pride and India's sovereignty, and he said it in as many words.
भारत अपने किसानों के, पशुपालकों के और मछुआरे भाई बहनों के हितों के साथ कभी भी समझौता नहीं करेगा। और मैं जानता हूं व्यक्तिगत रूप से मुझे बहुत बड़ी कीमत चुकानी पड़ेगी, लेकिन मैं इसके लिए तैयार हूं।
That comment by the Prime Minister has got underreported. You hear this statement by India and know that Donald Trump will hate to see this unapologetic nation-first approach of Narendra Modi. The direct eyeball-to-eyeball stare back. Trump, you know what he will love? He will love to spin the clock back to 15 December 2019, when Shaheen Bagh protests made international headlines. You know what Trump will like? He will love for India to spin the clock back to 26 January 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, we all know what happened at that point of time when people tried to target the Tiranga at the Red Fort. So it is time today for us to think. Don't look away. When you hear these protests here, people questioning the electoral system, questioning how many Rafales were brought down, wanting private reservations in schools and in the Miss India competition. There is a clear intent out there. What do these people want to do? Are they saying that the government should shut down the Make in India dream and sell out and bow down to Donald Trump's tantrums? This group that wants you to lose faith, what do they want? Do they want that India should not buy Russian oil, despite concessions working in our interests? What do they want? Do they want that India should allow Donald Trump to mediate on Kashmir? Or do they want the Indian government to nominate Donald Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize? What do they want? Do they want that we just surrender completely to the Oval Office, to a president who is obsessed with the Nobel Peace Prize? Who has lunch with the person who organized the massacre in Pahalgam? And that is why I am saying, ladies and gentlemen, fight for national interest. This is a very important time in our country's interest. Stand with the country no matter what your political leanings are. You may not have agreed with me in the past on a number of issues. Today I call for my nation, all citizens of our Bharat, to be ever vigilant. This is the time for India to be vigilant. Let's all be careful. There are enemies all around us. Our unity is absolutely essential.